Hello, my name is Axel and this is Michaela.
Hi.
And we are both from UpcyDesign. Our mission with UpcyDesign is to create design lamps out of upcycled material, and our main material for those lamps is Dibond material. Michaela first came in contact with the Dibond material at university during a design workshop, and they worked with materials like acrylic material but also with Dibond. And as you know, Dibond is normally used for the construction of exhibition booths, for example, and during this construction process and creation process a lot of scrap material is being produced, and so they got this material for their workshop, and then they thought, well, it's actually really too sad to throw it away, and is there not a possibility for creating interesting things like the lamps, for example? So this was the first, let's say, initiative, or the first moment we thought about creating and using this material for other purposes. An important inspiration for design are also these scrap material parts themselves, because we take them and they have different length and different width, but we are not changing them. We are taking them as they are and then forming the lamps, for example, out of these pieces. We are not cutting something, for example, and that's why the material itself creates is responsible for the design, more or less, right? This material is really ideal for folding, and that's why these forms are just coming into our mind. It looks a little bit like the origami design, like the Japanese origami folding, and that's exactly what it looks like, and that's why it is really, for us, it's a timeless design. The Dibond material contains of 3 layers, 2 very thin aluminum layers and 1 polypropylene layer in the middle. And this middle, let's call it plastic layer, is the isolation layer, and the other 1 aluminum layers we take for transporting the current, and that's why we do not need any wires. In addition, as you can see, you do not see any bulbs, for example, because this layer has ultra thin, high-tech ship on board LEDs, and that's why those LEDs are here they're put here into this lamp, so you do not see them, but they are very, very bright. In addition, this lamp, for example, has so-called sensor touch here in the front, where you can switch on and off. The whole thing is not dangerous at all, because it has very low voltage, just 12 volt. So it's also it's a very safe lamp in addition, and it's more or less also a design object when it's not switched on. Yes, of course, we had some challenges during the fabrication. So, for example, normally if you fold this material, you do it by cutting, for example, on one side, and then the folding is quite easy, right? Like here in this model. On the other hand, here, if you see this model, there are no cuts at all, and the folding is done anyway. And this is not so easy to realize, because here we had to warm up the layers and then to do the cutting, and this way, doing this, then you can realize the folding even without doing any cuts, which is also quite interesting in terms of design. Another challenge is, for example, was if you are not using the traditional, let's say, lamp holders here or the bulb holders. If you are inserting the LEDs, then you have to create the contact between the LED panel and the ultra thin layers here, because the layers bring or transport the current, and since those layers are very, very thin, less than a millimeter, The connection is also quite challenging, but fortunately we have mastered it.